What, isn't a guy allowed to be classy? Ooh yeah! Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome to this episode of Deadbolt Dragons, and this should be a new series known as In Memoriam. This is basically to pay tribute to my heroes and all of those that we have lost and everything. This channel is not going to be just about one thing. We're going to discuss a whole variety of topics. But today I wanted to discuss and be in memoriam of the Macho Man Randy Savage. Now, even if you're not a wrestling fan, and if you're not a wrestling fan, you don't like it, you don't want to watch it, just get away from this video. I'm not judging you, just go. I don't need any trouble. But today I wanted to talk about Randy Savage and the influence he's had on me. I remember the first time I had a videotape of pro wrestling, it was the WWF, and it was WrestleMania 8. WrestleMania 8 was a double main event, but in my eyes, there was only one true main event, and that was Ric Flair defending the WWF title against Randy Savage. This was the first time I'd ever seen Randy Savage, ever. And this was during the end of his heyday. And they put on such a wrestling match that told an incredible story. And I can remember this guy who limped to the ring, selling the injuries of the figure 4 leg lock, and still pulling out all the stops to defeat Ric Flair. Sadly, Randy Savage is no longer with us. He died 4 years ago in a horrific accident. But his legacy remains. A lot of you who have saw the first Spider-Man movie will remember him as Bonesaw McGraw, the wrestler across the ring from Spider-Man. And that was such a monumental role for Randy. That was the last time he was properly in the public eye. And then, as I said, he sadly passed away 4 years ago. But the legacy he left will be forever felt. At some point, as you will see in the trailer to this channel, I cosplay a lot. I enjoy dressing up as different characters. I've got Scorpion from Mortal Kombat 9, that was probably made apparent by my Mortal Kombat 10 review. Ash from Pokemon, I'm a huge Pokemon fan, and I'm sure that'll be said in the eventual trailer to this channel. And you see the beard and my ever-growing long hair. I cosplay Macho Man Randy Savage on a recommendation from a friend a couple of years ago, and this year was the year I decided to actually do it, and I don't regret it. I am having so much fun, and I don't get his accent, I don't get his catchphrase completely right all the time, but nobody's perfect. I mean, if you were perfect, there probably wouldn't be any point. So, oh yeah! That's about as good as I can do, and I do my absolute damnedest. I cosplayed Randy Savage once this year. My debut event with it was London Anime and Gaming Con in February, and I enjoyed going on stage during a cosplay masquerade. I'll pipe in a picture, and if you click on that picture it will take you to the masquerade video. I think I'm in about 16 minutes 40 seconds into the video. But anyways, so yeah, I mean, recently I did some additions to the cosplay and everything. I made my own Macho Man crown, the Macho King, and it turned out pretty well, in all honesty. This is mostly cardboard, newspaper, masking tape and paint. hot glue, paint pens and thick cardboard for the letters and everything. This came out really, really well. And I'm very proud of it, and I can't wait to debut it on my costume. Sadly, the glasses from that event broke around WrestleMania time, because there was a WrestleMania party happening in a bar in the town where I live, and those glasses broke, and so I had to get a new pair of glasses. These are a pair of Wrestler sunglasses, modelled after Randy Savage and everything. Oh yeah, I'm fabulous. But I'll also pipe in a picture of my cosplay again, and that will take you to a Wrestler Sunglasses page on Etsy. If you haven't checked it out, check it out, and if you're thinking of doing a Randy Savage cosplay or just wanting a pair of these for fun, then I suggest you go to the link. I will list everything below, but I will have pictures piped in and hopefully have links to said videos in them. But very high quality stuff. One of the things I never realised until a couple of years ago, and it was pretty damn embarrassing for me, was that I didn't know that Randy Savage's brother was the Genius. I mean, yes, they had similar looks and everything, but Genius just didn't have the raspy look that Randy had. And it was strange, because Randy always talks in a very gruff voice, and he's always like really, really aggressive. But Genius, Lanny Poffo, he's very eloquent. And that character obviously gave rise to the former character of Damien Sandow in WWE now as Damien Mizdow, although I don't know how long that's going to last considering his most recent storyline. And it just fits so well considering it fits so well knowing that in the Macho Man's coronation into the Macho King, Genius was there to read out a poem that he had written for the coronation, and Ted DiBiase handed Randy a scepter and everything, and that was such a cool moment. Although I wasn't that big a fan of Randy as the Macho King. Some of his best promos came from being a heel, but he didn't really have that many high profile feuds as the Macho King until the retirement match with Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7. Yeah, I should probably say retirement, simply because that doesn't mean a lot in pro wrestling these days to a lot of people, unless your name is Shawn Michaels. But getting back to what I was saying earlier. Oh yeah, I have both of Randy's DVDs. They go well together, although I will say if you get this one, be prepared to be annoyed, because they put Matt Striker and Maria together as hosts for this, and together they are friggin' annoying. My opinion, if you like Maria, great. If you like Matt Striker, absolutely great. I mean, apparently Matt Striker is doing so well in Lucha Underground now, which I suggest you check out because it's such a unique product. But with Maria, those two are very annoying hosts, I will warn you. But this one is where the true meat lies. Probably going to pipe in a meat from Mortal Kombat joke like the last episode. One of the major things I remember about the Macho Man was his short-lived heel character in WCW in 99 to 2000, where he had completely remodeled his look and he looked completely different. He tied up his hair in a ponytail, which at the time I was a bit dubious of, because you always see him with really savage and like downgraded hair that looked like it had been dry cleaned. Quote on Jake the Snake Roberts on that one. And he was walking around with Team Madness, the three wonderful women that he was always around. And he also contributed to Botchamania's "Send for the Man" joke, which is absolutely hilarious every time I see it. And he stayed in WCW at least until late 2000, I'd say, where he entered a battle royal against the New Blood with the Millionaires Club in that whole really bad storyline where nobody got over. But then again, WCW was dying when I started watching it, and I had been watching it for about 1.5 years by the time it was dead in the water. And then the last thing you hear from him is he goes into Spider-Man as Bonesaw McGraw, and then he disappears, which was sad in a way, because after seeing Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and all the old legends return to the WWE at the time, it felt a bit empty, considering all these legends were coming back and the same invitation was not thrown out there to Randy. But in a way that was probably better for Randy to stay out of the limelight, because he managed to get his life on track. He stopped dyeing his beard. He bought his house. He got married again, and he started to enjoy his life as Randy Poffo and not as Randy Savage, where everybody recognised him from. And then sadly what happened to him, but he left a really big mark on not just wrestling fans, on a hell of a lot of people. And for that, Randy Savage will always be remembered. Here's a little Randy Savage tribute I made and I hang up on my wall. I think it covers most of the times in his career. It also has his WWE Immortals card as well. Both NWO logos, because he was part of both. And the years from which he lived to the day he died. And those are the old broken glasses, by the way, held on by hot glue. And I thought, why not just have it hanging in my home as a tribute to, in my opinion, the greatest professional wrestler that ever lived. It will always be, to me, the Macho Man Randy Savage. He stole the show at WrestleMania 3 with Ricky Steamboat for the Intercontinental title, and he will be remembered forever. Rest in peace, Randy Savage, and I hope I do you proud, because you did us all proud. Thanks very much, guys. I'll see you next video. Peace.